This is RavenKast, episode 7, recorded on Friday, December 14th, 2012.
Everybody online, looking good.
Podcast on the Guild Wars 2 experiences, opinions, and observations by the guild members of Ravenkin. This is RavenKast.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Regis Philbin got really old all of a sudden.
No.
We should have him on.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. It's another RavenKast. Welcome. Today we have Ab.
Hey.
And Slurms.
And Regis Philbin.
No, not Regis.
No, he's alive.
And Regis Philbin.
No, we're not.
Come on out here, Reg. How are the kids?
They're like 60.
Tell us about Conan O'Brien.
Tell us about the Notre Dame Irish.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Shut up.
Tell us about Kathy Lee.
Hey, Ab, why don't you tell me about what your beverage is?
Oh, it's 40 ounces of pure Bud Light.
Good Lord.
Pure.
This is happening.
Slurms, what's yours?
Di Serono on the rocks.
Lovely.
It is. Tasty.
Decaffeinated coffee.
Ugh.
We're phoning it in this time.
No, Ab actually accidentally bought decaf, and I would never buy decaf, but I can never have coffee in the evenings because I'm one of those people, if I have coffee at like anytime after like 11 a.m., I'm up till 4 in the morning. So I'm actually kind of happy that he bought the decaf because I can have coffee in the evenings now.
See, I only drink coffee for the purpose of the caffeine.
Yeah, I don't get that of not having that just adrenaline shot.
Well, I've never bought decaf before. I haven't. The last time I had decaf was when I was pregnant.
Where do you buy those needles, like from Pulp Fiction?
Why are we
jabbing the heart?
what?
Adrenaline?
We just took a turn there. I don't know.
Big Lots.
Big Lots, they have those?
I think so.
You have to go to Odd Lots for that.
They have Odd Lots still?
Might have them at Bed Bath & Beyond.
You have an Odd Lots at Bed Bath & Beyond?
No, they might have those needles
Oh,
at Bed Bath.
Yeah, okay.
We've never had an Odd Lots. We've had big Lots. A couple of them.
I don't know where Odd Lots are.
Maybe
I've heard of them, but I've never seen one.
They used to have one by us. Yeah.
Only time I ever went into a Big Lots was with my wife before we had kids. Actually, it was before.
Just a little sexy night out together.
Well,
you could see your daughter.
You guys were slumming it, getting dirty. Oh,
Speaking of sexy night out at the Big Lots, the thing that I remember most about Big Lots is that right when you walk in the front door is the panties.
I almost lost my coffee.
I've never let my wife live that down because I will never forget that. It amazed me that any store, the very first thing you would walk in and see would be panties, racks and racks of panties.
It's for creeps just to go in and just start sniffing.
I would rub your face on. I don't know.
On Big Lots panty racks.
Yeah. It's like, this is going to touch somebody someday, and that's be like them touching me. I don't know. It was awful.
That's weird. So, Ab, have you played some Guild Wars 2 this week? I have no way to segue that, so we're just going to do that.
Yeah, no, I have. I played some of my Elementalists. I did some story stuff. It's really cool. I'm still in the 50s, like late 50s, so I'm very slow. But
you're playing at a good pace. You're enjoying it.
Yeah, I am.
That's all that matters.
I've only done story stuff this week, catching up on it. I'm all cut up, so now I need to either PvP again or go do other stuff. I kind of notice I PvP until I level and then catch up on story stuff. But the story stuff is pretty awesome. I just had a really cool whole thread where I had to go to an alternate kind of future land.
I did that on one of mine.
That was really cool.
Are you in the Vigil?
I believe so. That's
yeah. I have that.
I was telling you about it. Yeah.
You know, at my Guardian, I would do some story and then go level and then do some story. I would kind of like keep up at it, but I still there were times where I would start my story and have no idea where I left off before, and it was frustrating. Or I would get into the story and want to continue and I couldn't.
You go read the recap. That's what I do.
It was over leveled and whatever, but I didn't do it.
I'll go in waves, and then when I go back and I kind of forget, they have the little my story in the steps, and that catches me up and I remember. So
yeah. Well, anyway, I kind of wanted to just do all of it at once. So now My Mesmer is 67.
Wow. Congrats.
And thank you. And so I'm ready to hit some story because I haven't done story since like early 30. So I figure that'll pretty much take me to 80 probably at this point.
Yeah,
When you go
mine.
back, you'll see how much hair you had then.
Ugh.
I can't believe you dressed that way.
Those bangs.
Since I'll do me and then we'll do you, Steve.
Okay.
Since I already started talking about that.
Both of you?
My goal was to start doing some story now. I did some CM, the dungeon, the manor.
Yes.
I don't know what the C stands for. I just call it CM. What is that? I should look that up, right?
Case management.
I've never done CM. When you guys were talking about doing it last night, and when they finally invited me and then said that they filled it, I was kind of bummed because I had yet to ever do it. So.
Oh, it's the manor in Queensdale.
So C stands for Queensdale.
I think it's Codicus Manor.
Oh, okay.
But we did Path 1 and Path 2 this week, I think. But yeah, both times like the group had like one person had been there before, but it had been like forever, so we didn't know what we were doing. But it went well. We did, we made it to the end both times.
That's good.
So, yeah, good stuff.
Was it a fun compared to
Always fun.
other dungeons?
I kind of like it better than AC.
Oh, really? I want to do more dungeons.
You know what? It may be because though I'm on my Mesmer, and I'm liking that more
That's good.
than my Guardian. Like I think it's because I feel a lot more confident playing my Mesmer than I did with my Guardian. I always felt like my Guardian, I just never really got what was my role, what my best features were for the group. Whereas with a Mesmer, I just always, I don't know, I just feel like that's a better fit for me playstyle wise. So
That's cool.
yeah. And they met some, Ike mentioned last night that I'm playing with a lot more confidence now. So that's good. And then what else did we do? Did some WW last Sunday, which is always fun. And do either you know how we came out this week? We were second last I checked.
I'm not sure what place we were in. I know it's the same 3 servers.
Blackgate, Alleganther, and us. Yep, Sanctum of
Yep.
Raw.
I did jump on and I saw that they reset and the points were down in like the 3 digits. So I was like,
So it's them 3 again.
same 3 again.
That's cool. That's fun.
kind of how it should be, right? I mean, as you're working up or down the ladder, you're going to face the same people a lot.
Yeah.
I think there was just questioning, at least on our show, like if Blackgate would move up because they were doing so well. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know how they were this time. So
This time we were in first place a bit more than usual.
okay, I mean, because if that's the case, then that might be why they didn't move up. I don't know. I'm not sure how much switching is happening between the servers right now.
It'll be interesting to know, like, psychology of the servers of, okay, if you have that server that is continuously coming out on top of the 3 and they're expecting to move up and they don't, like, does that deflate some of their momentum?
Or do they care?
Right. Well,
or do they prefer being like, yeah, we're number 1. Yeah,
Top dog, yeah.
Yeah, like...
Right. They may go, we didn't move up, but oh well, we're still kicking ass.
Yeah.
I need to get back out into WVDub.
Me too. Now that I'm caught up in story, and I'm now kind of back to where I was talking in previous episodes about trying to figure out which alt to mess with as my main. Just I love the Elementalist, and I want to keep playing that right now. So I want to get back into WVW with that.
Oh, I also did Map at Night, and we did Blaze Rid Steps this week. I think it was Wednesday with a big group of people, and that was a good time.
Cool.
Run around doing skill points and hearts and stuff like that. And we also went and killed the dragon that is in the vicinity, but
Nice.
I got jack shit for that. But I don't. There was so many people and there was so laggy, and I was shooting him and stuff, but I guess I didn't do enough damage, so I didn't even get like a
Honorable
medal
mention.
nothing.
Didn't get that little trophy that they give all the other kids.
Yeah, so I must have just really goofed up. So, but that happens.
Yeah.
Slurms,
Hey.
what you been doing this week?
Similar to you, in feeling more confidence with older characters. I've been playing my ranger again, and I'm remembering how fun he actually is, and might stick with him for a little while. I was kind of getting to a point with the necro that I did when I first played the necro way back when, that there was a couple weapons that I really liked playing with, and then nothing else. Like everything else just felt really blah. And not very fun to actually use. And I like to kind of be able to get up into the mix of a fight. I'm not one to hang back in a fight. I like being able to. I like having the ability to hang back, but more often than not, I would rather be up hitting someone with a blunt instrument or a sharp instrument. So I can get kind of the best of both worlds with the Ranger, and that's what I've been playing.
I want a question about the Ranger in WW. In keep sieges or defenses, how powerful do you feel as like a sniper?
Not very.
Okay, that's kind of the bummer because, I mean, going back to DOC and playing the Archer classes and that, I'm looking for that one that can really target people and do some damage.
Partly because of how I'm spec'd. Everything that I have on me is more condition based. I use the sword and warhorn, or I'll use sword and dagger.
Okay, so you're more for survivability.
Yeah, and I use a lot of traps. I honestly, that's the one thing I was going to do this weekend. Amidst all the Winter's Day stuff, was going to be looking at Ranger builds and see what out there is being utilized well. The Ranger's the one class that, like, as I was playing it, and I'm still debating on not doing it at all until I'm 80 with him. It was like I totally was building him as I kind of felt him out, like what felt right. And for me, what feels right on the Ranger to my play style is using melee weapons and traps. I can run up, I can jump into a fight relatively easy. If I'm using a greatsword, I can use that dive technique or the dive skill. I don't actually remember whatever the actual name of it is. But then laying down all the traps and then stacking all the bleeds, the poisons, the weakness, and all that stuff on top of each other, and just seeing the life tick away from something is just very rewarding. But I don't know if it's the best thing. I know I did read on Reddit amidst a thread about something else with Rangers that someone was complaining that being power spec'd with like a longbow is not as effective as it should be. So I think to like what you're wondering, it's probably not there. But a lot of people are actually citing that as it needs to be fixed.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because the way you're describing that sounds cool, but my main thought is, can I go that route and spec all in, knowing that I'm gonna be terrible in skirmishes, but for those keep sieges or defenses, I'm gonna feel like a god. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
When I was playing the Guardian a bunch, I felt like I had a lot of survivability with having the heavier armor, more life, the healing, just being more of a tanky character. With the Ranger, I feel like I have a lot more survivability for escape. I've been able to get out of so many crazy situations as a Ranger, even in WVW, that it's fun to me that when I can sneak out of shit.
Yeah, that's how I felt with my Elementalist, because in WVW I play a lot of his tricks of like going Vapor Mist and shielding and stuff, and that's fun. But yeah, okay, that's interesting. I'll be interested in hear if you mess around with different specs and builds.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to mess with it right now because it's what works for me, and I just want to concentrate on getting back into playing him. And right now with the Winter's Day stuff, I'm just going to be playing around with that. So, but yeah, eventually I probably will dick around with other builds and see how it is. But right now he's fun. The one note that I did put on the show notes, I hate medium armor sets, man. I think they look horrible.
Yeah, I don't have much experience with them, but
the reason I want to get into my story mode, it just reminds me, is because I want to join the Order of Whispers. I accidentally said the Order of Secrets yesterday, but the Order of Whispers, because I like the outfit for the light armor. Yeah,
the medium one isn't too bad either, and my Ranger is in the Order of Whispers, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. The only nice thing is that because he is a Norn, the medium cultural armor actually looks pretty cool. The tier 2, I think it's the tier 2 set I don't like, but the tier 1 and the tier 3 set are actually really good looking. But like all of the dungeon armor sets, the medium stuff, all but maybe one of them looks horrible. And it's like, for a game that a lot of the going after sets is just because of their look, it's like I have no desire to do that.
Do you find that the male's medium armor set is more attractive than the female.
In
ones,
some
or-
cases, but I think a larger part of it for me personally is because he's a Norn. It looks like everything looks like it's too stretched out to be on a Norn. I'm glad I'm not the fat Norn, like the really big model of the Norn.
Yeah.
Almost everything looks horrible on it. As if you go to WTFMMOcharacters.tumblr.com, you'll see. But yeah, I'm lucky that or not lucky, but I think I'm smart in the fact that I chose one of the thinner Norn models, so it doesn't look as bad.
Yeah.
But most of the medium armor looks better on a Sylvari or a human anyways. But even on those, I don't like some of them.
The cultural assassin's armor on a human female is hot.
Yeah. A lot of the
medium.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. It's not bad.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
I don't know what the men's looks like though.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Probably the same thing.
That would be awkward.
Almost see his boobs.
Yeah, that's frustrating though if you get an outfit and you're like, but that looks like crap. Like that's you're in search of, because you want to look good. All the effort you put into your character. Yeah.
Like the one I have on right now is like this quasi pirate outfit, and on a Norn it just kind of looks stupid.
Oh yeah.
It's like a Norn, like when I think of a Norn Ranger, I think of just like this kind of burly hunter, like out in the wild, like, almost like very like, yeah, like just makeshift, like out of animal hides and stuff. And none of them look like that except for the cultural stuff. But I'm happy with the cultural stuff at least. So
There
I'll
you
go
go.
with that.
All right. Guild Wars 2, we are, it is December 14th this evening at the time of this recording, and we're enjoying Winter's Day soon.
Maybe.
Oh,
I think the weatherman said there's a warm front coming.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah. It hasn't been released yet, right?
hold on.
Check
Hold
it.
on. Game update is live.
It just
Hold
went.
on, breaking. Hold on. It's coming through the wire. Steve?
Yep. We have we have Guild Wars 2 update December 14th for Winter's Day, and the next tweet from Guild Wars 2 was, if you're getting a connection error, be patient.
That's what I'm getting right now.
Everyone is attempting to download at the same time.
Yeah, I just tried, so.
So yeah, we'll wait.
I'm going to help things by trying right now.
Well, okay, I guess I won't end the podcast now.
We're not missing anything.
Okay, but there's earmuffs.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I
But you can
heard.
only wear them in town, I suppose.
Probably. It's probably like the
It
horns.
means you can swear around everyone wearing them.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about the filter. You can just swear your butt off.
I don't care if there's kids.
I got earmuffs.
Don't celebrate it, though.
I'm excited. I'm going to do the jumping puzzle tonight.
Tonight, you're going to
Yeah.
get it done?
Just
if not,
all
whatever.
those idiots out there trying at the same time. And
I can't wait. I fucking love the jumping puzzles.
that would be so cool to do with everyone at the same time.
Well, they usually instance it. It's like the max of 15 or whatever.
Yeah, but still, I mean, they're like everyone's trying for the first time at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
I'm excited.
Do it.
I actually did a very large jumping puzzle last night. I can't remember the name of the zone I was in. One of the Norn zones has a very big scaffolding jumping puzzle. And man, it took a while. It wasn't too hard, but it took a while. But I got the little achievement pop up for completing it. I didn't even realize it was like an achievement jumping puzzle, like one of the big ones, until I got up to the top and was like, congratulations. Oh, all right.
Nice. I have not done a jumping puzzle in a while, so I'm out of touch. Guild Wars 2 is Destructoid's RPG of the Year.
Apparently. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. They didn't really have I don't think they had an MMO category anyways, but yeah, Destructoid, right before the show, I saw that they posted their RPG of the Year award, and Guild Wars 2 won, above, I think it was Torchlight 2, Diablo 3, and 2 other games, and I can't remember the other 2.
And the
but,
one that
Xeno-
should have been nominated and won, but wasn't. But
what's that?
the one that should have been nominated that you and I were talking about before, Slurms.
Oh, Persona 4.
Yeah, Golden Arena. But
Yeah, the one of them was Xenoblade Chronicles, and the other was like Legend of Grimrock.
Grimrock, yeah. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
Those are the 5. Congratulations, ArenaNet. Guess what? This just in.
Coming across the wire.
This just in. Guild Wars 2 has also won RavenKast's MMO of the year and game of the year.
Wow. I didn't know that would be in tonight.
There you go.
They did it.
That's an exclusive news break right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're not going to hear that on your Nerdist podcast.
No, you're not going to hear that anywhere else. Let's see. Actually, other than that, the Guild Wars 2 news has been pretty. It seems like there's like a hush over the community this week. It was pretty quiet. Like everyone's waiting for Winter's Day.
Yeah.
Anticipation. Not a creature was stirring.
But yeah. Yeah, I think everybody's been anxious for Winter's Day. I've been anxious for it. So next week's podcast will be us talking about all the cool stuff we've been doing in Winter's Day. And you're yawning, so...
Well, I have decaffeinated coffee.
That's good radio. In other Guild Wars 2 news, if you saw on Reddit, there was a Guild Wars 2 theatrical trailer. And when I mean theatrical, like it was in theaters. And when I say that, I mean somebody went and saw The Hobbit. And before The Hobbit, they saw a trailer or an advert for Guild Wars 2.
Really?
Yes, there was an advertisement for Guild Wars 2. And the thing that's kind of being discussed, at least on Reddit, I don't know if it's being discussed elsewhere, but now it's going to be discussed on this podcast, is the fact that everything in the trailer was in-game. Everything, it was all in-game.
No CGI.
Graphics. No CGI. They've not really done any of that. There was that one commercial they did with like live actors that was really bad. But they didn't use that. They just kind of used this, like these shots of stuff in-game and a little slogan at the end of the trailer. Hey, Guild Wars 2, check it out. It's not WoW. And people have been discussing, like, okay, looking at like how Blizzard does their advertisements for World of Warcraft with like completely CG trailers. Been a lot of back and forth between people that love WoW and people that love Guild Wars 2. It's like, okay, ArenaNet's not lying to you about what's in the game, and then the WoW people are like saying that, well, they should have. That it wasn't very impressive looking because it wasn't something WoW. So it's like I don't know. Possible topic of discussion is like, what would you rather have? Would you when you want to see a game?
I did hear people when Miss Pandora came out. I heard quite a few people make the statements that, like, that Mr. Pandora trailer made you want to play so bad because
it looks cool.
It looks so awesome.
Okay,
but then the frustrating part is, but that's not how it is when you get in the,
No, and you're cherry picking at that point because, yeah, that one looked great. So did the CGI for Warhammer and Old Republic and all these other games.
Fucking Warhammer video.
That was awesome.
That was
so
really
you can
good.
cherry pick and say, well, yeah, the WoW one looked great, but there's also a bunch of other games that tried it and didn't work. So
Well, no, they did work. They looked great and made people want to play. But then once they got in,
but
the
they didn't
gameplay
make
didn't
people
keep
play.
them. Yeah, no, I think it did.
Oh, yeah, possibly. But, I mean, you can't compare the two.
I think a good CGI can make people want to play because what you're giving them isn't the game, but what you're giving them is the spirit of your RP element. I can totally see you're not false marketing because you're giving them the lore.
Yeah, you get them in the door.
And kind of getting them to care about the story part of the game a bit. It is an RPG, MMORPG. So I can totally see that part of it. And
I think it's completely different though because you're comparing a CGI trailer for the 4th or 5th expansion of an existing MMO versus a brand new one.
Right.
No, that's not what we're comparing at all. We're comparing CGI to
No, I know. I'm saying
gameplay.
you're comparing a CGI trailer for a property that already exists and has millions
People
of people
know it.
playing it. Yeah.
I just used that one because it's the latest one. But you can go back to the very first WoW trailer. Then that CGI looked amazing too and made people want to play.
It did.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying CGI can get people in the door, but your gameplay is what's going to keep people.
Yeah. So what the question would be, I guess, do you think? I mean, if they're going to be advertising for the game in such big markets like for The Hobbit, or any other movie that comes out in theaters across the U.S., is like, do you think they should invest and like get a company like Blur to make them a CG trailer to kind of like what you're saying, Shannon, Zelly, like to invoke
Remember
that spirit?
the Zator trailers?
Oh God, the three of them.
great.
Well, that's the company. Blur was the company that did those 3 trailers.
Those were so good, and and it's getting you into the story element of the game. It's not showing you the game, but it's showing you what's there behind,
I mean, I kind of agree with
behind the work.
I kind of agree with the people that are saying, well, they're at least they're straight up showing you the game. I mean, if you think in the least that game looks good, like from the trailer,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the game looks like. That is an amazing looking game, and here you can be in doing the shit. It looks better than WoW, depending on your perspective. But so I don't know. I kind of agree with that aspect, but at the same time, I kind of do wish they would come out with a CG trailer to kind of get people pumped for it.
The part I really, really dislike about my story element, it's just two people talking on the screen.
Yeah, there's no action.
No, I mean, like, that's what I kind of miss about the storytelling of SWTOR was, like, there was a whole action sequence, things that happened. You felt like, in certain instances you were, like, in the movie, not in the movie, but in a movie type of situation.
I'm going to be interested to see what they do with their first expansion of how I bet they change how that works. Because I'm the same way. Like, I'll be like, this whole story stuff I've been doing this past week, it's been really exciting with the action and everything. And then as soon as it changes the screen to the dialogue, I'm like, oh, and I'm like starting to look around and like do stuff around my desk and kind of checking out.
Restacking all those papers.
I was very disappointed in the way they do the story element in Guild Wars 2. The two people talking on screen is just like, really? Like, I don't know. In beta, like, it seemed acceptable, but
at
I really
the same time,
because you thought it was placeholders.
I totally did. That no, they're not going to do this.
That stuff the two people talking on screen at each other, I'm not for sure. I guess I'm speculating. Maybe somebody does know for sure. Was that stuff actually added because of SWTOR? I don't know that stuff was always in there to begin with.
I remember from the very first footage they started showing, like I remember seeing the first where they showed like a 10-minute reel of footage that was there.
Mm-hmm. Was it? Okay.
It was, I mean, it might have been, I think it was right around the time SWTOR came out. So I think they were planning it.
Okay.
But I wonder if, because how the whole charm and ferocity and what's the other one that you can pick?
Dignity.
Yeah, like that seems shoehorned in. So I could see that being kind of added late in the game because that's kind of the choice. But I mean, I don't know. But I remember that being there pretty early on.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't mind the actual like back and forth, like when it's just dialogue. But whenever somebody else flashes on the screen or whatever and goes, look, they're attacking, and they're just kind of standing there with their arms down. It's very immersion breaking. So
yeah,
I actually would really enjoy a great CGI type of trailer that would kind of get me more into the lore, because I feel like there's a lot of lore in Guild Wars 2 that's overlooked because don't get me wrong, the gameplay is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's great. I just feel like there's a lot of story in the game.
You have to go looking for it though, and when I've looked for it, it's really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a lot there. The peasants will sit there and talk to you, and it all depends. Sometimes it depends on what race you are and what have you. In the different situations, and not a lot of people are gonna do that. And it would be kind of cool to give someone like a real good taste of that. And like, because even they're really beautiful, artistic, original trailers and stuff. Like, it's all like just quick images with dialogue.
Yeah. You selected this, so this is the dialogue that's already been recorded for that.
Yeah, I would like to see something like, what was it? Was it Hope or whatever? The SWTOR one? Yeah, that was done very well. Miss Pandora really was introduced really well. And I do think that story element will bring in people to check out your game.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't disagree. You're right.
Quick, get Blur on the line. Make us a CG. One CG, please.
Right, and this is completely different, but I bet EA wishes they hadn't spent all that money on those trailers right about now. Yeah. But I mean, that's completely separate. So it can work great or it can be terrible.
Yeah.
Right now that we know that Guild Wars 2 has a solid product that people have things they want to improve on, of course. But I mean, looking back, you can say, yeah, they probably should have done that, but you had no idea. The game could have sucked and they could have wasted. Because you always hear that thrown around with Blur. It's like $1 million a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that like kind of the comment?
Probably, yeah. I've not heard the actual figure, but yeah, they are an expensive company.
So I mean, that's a big gamble when you're coming out of the gate.
I want a Blur Star Wars movie.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I mean, not to get off topic, but those were amazing trailers. And as we are 3 at least Star Wars fans, even before the game came out, I was like, screw the game, just have them make a fucking movie, because that was amazing. So imagine what they could do if they tapped into Guild Wars, because damn.
There's a lot of great story there that I think is bypassed quite a bit. Honestly, because I, for one, am not a fan of a lot of the dialogue and voice acting. A lot of it. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot that's done well, but coming off of SWTOR, I do find the Guild Wars 2 voice acting and such to be a bit
lacking.
Yeah.
There was another bit of news.
Yeah?
And I don't really know a ton about it. Maybe we can discuss it more next week as more details come out. But there was some news about NCSoft. That NCSoft was selling all of its shares of NC Interactive to set up a new American subsidiary company that would be over basically just Guild Wars 2, it sounded like. So like NCSoft would still have like some control over it, but like they were refocusing the NCSoft brand to not just kind of be this MMO brand, but then like the American side, since now City of Heroes and Villains is gone, I think ArenaNet's kind of like the only company left. It almost seemed like they were spinning off the ANET stuff to kind of be by itself. So, but they would still be over it, but I don't know if they were just doing it as a way to let ANET like become
their own thing.
Yeah, become completely self-controlled. I'm really fuzzy on the details right now, but that could be very good for ANET with the way the game's going. When they're getting such awards like Destructoid's Best RPG of the Year and GameSpot's Best RPG.
And Ravenkin's.
And RavenKast's Best RPG.
I think that wraps us up pretty... Oh, wait, we didn't do any guild stuff, did we? I don't know if we have any. For guild news, we're pretty sparse. We've got quite a few new members, which is really great. They seem like great people. Yay. But there is a Winter's Day guild party on December 20th at 8 p.m. Central in Lion's Arch. So... Guildies, come be part of the party. We're just going to hang out. We're just going to hang out and have a good time and be silly. Get in Mumble, because that's probably where the most silliness will be happening. If you did sign up for the Guild Gift Exchange, we'll be exchanging gifts at the party, but you don't have to be in the gift exchange to come to the party. So,
I need to figure out what I'm getting.
Your person?
My person.
Your secret person.
I know what I think I'm getting, but goddamn.
Well, don't make it difficult. It's supposed to be fun.
No, I know, but I don't. Yeah, it's just the figuring out.
You get them Turbo Man?
I'm going to get him Arnold Schwarzenegger dressed up as Turbo Man.
Movies.
Nah, fuck it. I can only afford Sinbad.
Oh, did you get them
anybody gonna?
You got them.
Anybody can afford Sinbad. Ravenkin is a casual Guild Wars 2 guild fighting for Sanctum of Raw. The views expressed in this podcast are the personal and official views of the specific RK members in the podcast. Our views should not be misrepresented as the official views of anyone or anything else. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to info.ravenkin@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at ravenkin.enjin.com.